So after having a tip go nuclear, I got some replacements and a couple of add-ons to add to the hoard. So I went on Amazon and I just did a little browsing and stuff like that and picked what I want. I didn't find the exact one that went nuclear. It was a C1 type tip. So I got the next best thing that is sort of similar to it. So this is a BC1. So the other one was a bevel tip, where it was it's a conical with a bevel on it, but that doesn't really matter for what I do. This one has a little bit of a bevel on it, but not as pronounced as the other one. So these are the type of tips that my particular soldering station uses, and these like hackle type style tips where the heating element and the thermocouple are together in one apparatus. So it gives you the best heat and the best temperature control and all that other good stuff. So I got it to calibrate this to the new setup. So off camera, when I ordered everything, I programmed all the tip names into the soldering station. So I got several different tips for several different things, and they're all calibrated, and they all got a little their own little personality. So that's why I like having the calibrating them, and it just makes it so that heat is consistent. So that was the that, and for what I use to calibrate this, I got this little soldering temperature sensor here that I use to calibrate the tips. So the temperature probe is right here, and you put a big honking glob of solder or solder on the tip, put it in here, it gives you the temperature of the tip, and then you can go into the soldering station and calibrate it. So we're going to turn this on. See if I got enough cord. So on the station here, we can go through the various different tips here that I got. So I got like right now I had the BCF2, and then I got the BL, BC1, the C1, the C4, D16, D24, ILs, JL02, K, BCF2, back to the start. So this one is a BC1. So we're going to select that. And to go in the calibration mode, we're going to push the button down and go to our left, and it's going to do a tip adjust. So we're going to start that. So our first step is 448C, and it says that our current temp is varying up and down at 446 and 471. It's always modulating. And then our real temp. Our real temp is our. Of course, the thing is not focusing, so we'll have to manually do it because we don't want to behave. Where's the focus right on there? There we go. So, like I was saying, our adjustment point is it's saying to set it to 449. Our current temp it's reading 459, and it wants to know what our real temp is. So our real temp is the one that we're going to be calibrating and using our meter on, and then adjusting it. So we'll turn our meter on here, and it's telling us our ambient temperature. So all we're going to do is touch the center here. We're going to flood the test probe with solder and wait for the temperature to stabilize. So it says 429, so it's a bit off. So we're going to set from 448 to 427, and then we're going to push our center button, and then it's going to drop to our next temperature set point, which is 350 C. So we have to wait for our temperature and soldering iron to drop in temperature and stabilize. So you probably can't see it. There we go. So it's pretty close on that particular adjustment. It's only 8 degrees off. And then our final one is 251C. So this is a 3-stage calibration process. So about 273, so it's about a little over 20 off. So that takes care of that particular tip. So now that's calibrated. So now we can go to our next one that we got. Put that off into the holder. So our next tip that we got is a C4. Actually, I'll go to the next one that I got here. So the next tip I got is a D24. So it's kind of like looks like a flat blade screwdriver. And it's a little wider than the one I got. Not by much, but it makes a big difference. So like I got a D16 here. That's a kind of like a chisel tip. It's a little wider, so it's a little easier to use, like wick and stuff like that. And this one's not labeled like the other one was. Usually they label them. Like that first one I got was labeled. So we'll stick that in there. Now we'll start warming up. So that was a D24. So now we'll go to our station and we'll select our D24. Now we're going to go to our calibrator and calibrate it. So we go back to our 451C, and then we'll drop down to 350 and then 225. So put a big glob and work on our adjustments. So 423, 451, so we'll dial it back to 424. $425. Next one will be 353. So this will cool down to 350 or whatever it decides to steady out at. So 368, 367 it wants to settle at. Then we'll go to our final one. Not that this is critical for what I do in the hobby grade here, but it makes things easier for the station to maintain temperature. Okay. And then we'll go to our final tip here, which is a C4. So this is a really wide chisel point or beveled point for I figured it would be a good one for like when I did that the E-Tech City desoldering and reflooding of the planes for durability, for to carry current, and to make use of my thicker wick or wider wick. So while it's warming up, we'll go to our station and select that C4. So when the a brand new tip has never been calibrated on the meter here, it'll say a 0, and then when it's calibrated, it'll have an asterisk. So having a nice big tip like this, it holds, has an easier time of holding the heat for certain situations. So we're settling in at 420, I guess. We'll go to our next one. About 380, 379. Our final adjustment for our final tip. Supposed to hang around 256. So there, that's the final adjustment, and then we can just clean the center off a little bit. What a nice big fat tip. There we go. So that's my calibration process for my new tips. I'll have to get a label maker and make some labels for the ones that are not labeled. And that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.